Darkness. The smell of blood and hot sand. Somewhere above you, 50,000 voices scream for a death, and it might be yours. The iron gate grinds open. Blinding sunlight. The roar hits you like a wall, and your fingers tighten around a sword you never wanted. Across the arena, a shadow steps into the light, armored, massive, hungry. He has killed before. Today, he means to kill you. He charges. Time slows. But to understand how you ended up here, dying in the sand of Rome, you have to go back 1 year. 1 year ago, you weren't a killer. You had a name, a family, a small patch of land where the wheat leaned gold in the wind. You had never held a real blade. You had never seen a man die. You were nobody the Empire would ever remember. Then Rome came, and Rome does not ask. It takes your freedom, your future, your name, and hands you a sword instead. This is the story of how they turned a farmer into a legend of the arena. This is your life as a gladiator. It begins with smoke. You wake to screaming, and the orange glow of your village burning against the black morning sky. Soldiers move through the houses like wolves. You reach for your family, but rough hands seize you and slam you to the dirt. Cold iron closes around your wrists. The chain is heavier than anything you've ever carried, and it will not come off for a long time. They march you south for weeks, bare feet bleeding on Roman roads, every step carrying you further from the life you knew. At night you dream of home. At dawn a whip reminds you it's gone. You learn to swallow grief before it drowns you. Finally, a city rises ahead. White marble, endless crowds, the beating heart of the empire, and you arrive here in chains, the slave market. You're shoved onto a wooden block, stripped, inspected like an animal, while strangers shout numbers over you. A man in fine robes studies you, squeezes your arm, checks your scars. He is not buying a servant. This one has fight in him, he says, and smiles. His name is Vibius, and he owns a school where men are made to kill. Coins change hands. Just like that, your life has a price, and it has just been paid. A cart hauls you through iron gates into a walled compound, the sound of clashing steel echoing off the stone. Men train in the yard, bodies scarred, eyes empty. One looks up at you with something like pity or warning. The heavy gates slam shut behind you, and in that sound you hear your old life end. Whatever comes next, there is no going back. You don't know it yet, but inside these walls you will either become a weapon or become a corpse. There is no third door. Dawn arrives with a bucket of cold water and a shout. Welcome to the Ludus, the gladiator school, where rest is a reward you earn. A scarred veteran called the Doctore lines you up. You are nothing, he says. The sand will teach you everything, or bury you. They hand you a wooden sword, twice the weight of iron. Swing it 10,000 times, they say, until the motion lives in your bones. Your muscles scream, blisters split and bleed, but you swing again, because the man who stops swinging is the man who dies. You train against a wooden post until your hands are raw. Strike high, strike low, cover, again, the rhythm becoming a heartbeat. The food is plain, barley, beans, ash for strong bones. They call gladiators barley men. Rome feeds you well to watch you bleed. At night, 40 men sleep in stone cells, and you hear weeping in the dark. Pride here is a luxury nobody can afford. One man shares his bread with you, Gallus, a Gaul with a crooked grin who survived 3 years, longer than almost anyone. The trick, he whispers, is to stop being afraid to die. Fear slows the arm, and a slow arm becomes a slow grave. Weeks pass. Your body hardens. The farmer's softness burns away, replaced by muscle, scars, and a stillness in your eyes. You spar with sharpened blades now. First blood is drawn. It's yours, but you don't drop. And the Doctor finally nods once. You learn the weapons of the arena, the net, the trident, the short sword, the shield, each one a different way to end a life. Gallus teaches you to read an opponent, the twitch before a strike, the fear behind the eyes, the opening they don't know they've left. For the first time you feel something dangerous, not hope exactly, but the will to live, to fight, to maybe someday walk free. Then, one morning, the Doctor reads a list of names for the games. The yard goes silent. Every man prays not to hear his own. He stops, looks up, and speaks your name into the cold air. Tomorrow, for the first time, you fight in the arena. For real. You don't sleep. You stare at the ceiling and count your own breaths, wondering how many you have left. Dawn. They dress you in armor and paint. Gallus grips your shoulder. Keep moving. Keep breathing. And come back. A dark tunnel swallows you. Ahead, a circle of blinding light. and a roar so loud it shakes dust from the stone. You step into the Colosseum. 50,000 faces. The sun is a hammer. The sand is already dark where others fell. The crowd wants blood and doesn't care whose. You are not a man to them. You are a story that ends today. Your opponent enters, taller, faster, a bronze helmet hiding his face. The horns sound. The gate locks. There is only forward now. He strikes first. You barely raise your shield in time. The blow rattles your teeth, and everything Gallus taught you vanishes. You stumble back, heart hammering, the crowd howling. This is nothing like training. Out here the wooden sword doesn't forgive. Then something shifts. His shoulder twitches, the tell. You remember. You sidestep his swing, and for the first time you see the opening. Your body moves before your mind can stop it. Steel meets flesh. He staggers, and the crowd's roar changes. They can smell the ending. He drops to his knees, helmet falling away, a young face beneath, terrified, just like you. And the whole arena turns to watch you. 50,000 thumbs rise or fall. The mob decides his fate, but the blade is in your hand, and the choice, somehow, is yours. You look to the editor's box. A cold thumb turns down. The crowd screams for it. Your arm shakes. You do what you must to live. It's over. The crowd erupts, chanting a name, and slowly you realize it's yours. You are alive. You have won, and you feel nothing. That night, you can't stop shaking. Gallus says nothing. He just pours you wine and sits with you in the dark, understanding. The worst part isn't the killing. It's the small, terrible truth you can't say aloud. Some part of you liked surviving, and that scares you. One win becomes 2, then 5, then 10. Your name spreads through the city like fire through dry grass. Rome has found a new favorite. They paint your face on walls. Children fight with sticks pretending to be you. Strangers throw flowers and coins as you pass in chains. The mob loves you now, but love from a crowd is a fickle, hungry thing that can turn to hatred in a single heartbeat. Vibius grows rich on your blood. Finer food, better armor, a private cell. A gilded cage is still a cage, and you have not forgotten that. You start to believe you might actually earn your freedom, the Rudis, the wooden sword granted to champions who survive long enough. But the arena always demands more. New champions rise. Each fight is harder. Each victory costs a little more of you. A rival appears, Crixus, a brutal champion from another school, undefeated, arrogant, adored. The crowd begs to see you collide. You beat him, barely. Bloody and broken, you stand over him as the crowd chants for death, and you spare him. A rare mercy. For a moment, you feel like more than a killer, like a man who still owns a piece of his own soul. That feeling never lasts. Then comes the day you dread most. The editor announces the next match, and your opponent walks out, and it's Gallus, your only friend, the one man who kept you human. Now the mob wants you to destroy him for sport. The gates lock. Neither of you moves. One of us walks out, Gallus says softly. Better you than a stranger. Make it clean. Then he raises his blade, eyes full of tears. You fight because you must. It is the hardest thing you have ever done. Every strike feels like tearing a piece from your own chest. In the end, he lets his guard drop, on purpose. A gift. A choice. He dies looking at you, and he is smiling, and you break. The crowd roars your victory. You don't hear it. You kneel in the sand, holding your friend, as the whole golden world turns to ash. That night, freedom feels like a lie. You've won everything Rome offers, and lost everything that mattered. What is a legend but a lonely man? Then Vibius comes to your cell with a strange light in his eyes. One more fight, he says. Win this, and I grant you the Rudis. Freedom, the word you stopped letting yourself believe in. One last fight stands between you and walking out of these gates a free man. They save the greatest spectacle for last. The emperor himself attends, and the Colosseum is packed to its highest ring. This is no ordinary match. They pit you against 3 fighters, a test no champion is expected to survive. The crowd knows it. So do you. You think of Gallus, of the farm, of the wheat leaning gold in the wind a lifetime ago. You breathe, and you walk into the light. The gate opens. 3 armed men circle you like wolves. The horns sound. There is no plan now, only instinct and will. The first rushes you. You take a cut across the ribs, hot and deep, but you turn inside his guard and he falls. 1 down. Blood runs down your side. The world tilts. The second and third close together, and you know you cannot win this straight on. So you use the sand. You use the sun. You blind one with a thrown fistful and drive your shield into the other. Chaos becomes your ally. You are wounded, exhausted, running on nothing but the memory of a smiling man who died so you might live. You will not waste it. The second man corners you against the wall. You have no strength left, so you find some anyway, in the deepest, darkest part of you. You disarm him with a move Gallus taught you on a cold morning, a lifetime ago. He yields. The crowd erupts. Only one remains. The last fighter is the biggest. He knocks you down, your sword spins away across the sand, and 50,000 voices gasp as one. You are on your back, empty-handed, his blade rising against the sun. This is the moment. This is where the story is supposed to end. But you are not that farmer anymore. Your hand closes on sand and old bone. You throw, he flinches, and you take back your blade. One final strike. He falls. Silence. Then an explosion of sound that shakes the very stones of Rome. You are still standing. You have won. You drop to your knees in the bloodied sand, chest heaving, alive, as 50,000 people scream a single word. Freedom. The editor rises, the Rudis in his hand. He looks to the emperor. The emperor pauses, and slowly nods. He throws it. The wooden sword lands in the sand before you, and you pick it up with trembling hands. After a year of chains, you are free. The gates you once entered as a slave now open outward, to the world. No guards, no chains, only a long road and a rising sun. You walk out a free man, the roar of the crowd fading behind you, but you carry the arena in your scars, and in the names you'll never forget. Somewhere, the wheat is still leaning gold in the wind. You will find it again. You earned that, and Gallus would tell you to go. The sand of the Colosseum swallows every drop of blood and forgets, but you won't. You remember every face, every name, every brother lost, because the empire builds monuments to emperors, but the sand remembers the gladiators. And now, so will you, every single one, forever.